All right, Kurt. So, where you from?
Mississippi, little town called Columbia, Mississippi.
Columbia, Mississippi.
Yes.
All right. Uh, where'd you go to high school there?
High school attended East Marion High School.
East Marion?
East
Okay.
Marion
All
High
right.
School.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Did you graduate?
Yes.
Okay,
I graduated 25th in my class of 76.
that's not that bad. I graduated top of my class, GED, when I was 21.
21. I would say that I was the brightest kid. I graduated with 86.3 average.
All right.
So at the time, that was a C or B, I'm not sure.
Did you have any significant events, say during or right after high school?
Oh, right after high school, so I'm back up a little bit. When I was in high school, I played sports, basketball. So I received about 22 scholarship offers from various schools. But I took the ACT the last time that was offered, and I didn't score the 17 that was required to go to those schools. So I ended up going to a junior college right after high school.
Junior college, right after high school.
Yes.
Would you say that high school would have been like some of your most formative years, or would you take that to college?
I would take that to college because pretty much high school was all scripted. There was not much deviation you could do. Once I got to college, I had more freedom as to what I wanted to do. I didn't have to go to class if I didn't want to or anything that anybody was pushing me to do. It was all me. Only thing that I was being pushed to do was perform in sports, and that was by the coach.
I was curious about that. So, how tall are you?
6'7",
6'7". All right. Which sport did you play?
basketball. I played the 4 and the 5 on the basketball team. I always wanted to be the point guard, but didn't have the handles and I was too tall.
All right. So you got to tell me, somebody who's never played, I've never played organized sports.
Yes.
So what's the 4 and the 5?
4 and the 5 is a small forward and forward position on the basketball team, which is typically the two biggest guys on the floor at the time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
The 4 can step outside sometime, but the 5, mainly called the center, will be under the goal majority of the time.
All right. So aside from doing organized sports and, everything that doing organized sports offers to any person, really, learning teamwork, learning leadership,
Yes.
learning how to follow, things along those lines. Why would you, aside from sports, why would you say that college would have been like your more formative years, more so than even high school?
Aside from the sports, I got a chance to pursue what I really wanted to go after. So I thought so. So my courses that I chose geared toward business management, which was pretty broad. I never did take anything as far as accounting or to narrow it down. But because I had to stay eligible to play the sports, I really didn't get a chance to do all the things that I wanted to do. I was more so put down in some, I wouldn't say dumbed down classes because I was in college, so everything was more advanced. But the easier courses that I feel like I can't just generalize it, but I felt like I was put in some, and my team was put in the easier courses to keep everybody eligible to play.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes. Okay. And so I feel like I was hurt in a way with that because I didn't really go after what I planned to go for. It was business management what I wanted to pursue. But by the time I got finished, I probably could have come out of there a physical ed teacher.
Understood. Understood. So you had a particular idea, a dream of what it was you wanted to go after, and the coach and the administration said, "Well, we want to make sure that you stay in on the team, so we're
Right.
gonna put you in these instead."
Yes, and I
Okay.
feel like even today that hurts a lot of the students that's going to pursue athletics because they gotta be eligible because they passed the law that you gotta carry a certain grade point average in order to play. So I feel like in order to keep those students on the field, if they don't make it in that sport, they have nothing to really fall back on. So a lot of the students, they do take some extra courses, and I'm not saying at all. There's a lot of them that have succeeded, but I feel like that's an area that probably needs to be addressed because if you don't make it in sports, which is rare, then you become that professional player. Like maybe 1 out of 100 might make it to that next step. They don't really have anything else to fall back on, and I feel like I became one of those victims.
All right. Now, usually playing sports, that comes with a certain level of attention and popularity.
Yes.
All right. So, would you say that you were popular in school?
I would feel like I was popular. I found out once I got to college. Like I said, Coach came to my house. Coach came down and recruited me personally. But I found out once I got to college that he did all the players like that. So me feeling special in coming out of high school and getting to college was a reality check. It's like, okay, you're no more special than the rest of them. And it's like, okay, your way that you thought was made was just an opportunity for you to step here and see if you can go further. But no, the special stopped after we recruited you and you got here.
Okay.
Now it's a reality check. Let's go.
I got it. Okay. Were you popular with the ladies in school, in college?
There's a few of the ladies like me. I played sports. That was a plus. Everyone wants somebody to play an athlete. No bench warmer, and I was not a bench warmer. So I would say I was pretty popular. And I don't feel like I was like the man on campus, but I was one of the men.
All right. What would you say happened with you after college?
After college, I went on to realize that, okay, I gotta make some money. I'm not gonna make it in sports. I'm not gonna go that next level in sports. So it's time to go to work now. So at the time, I was like, what do I want to do? I wanted to be a manager to run the business, but didn't have the background or degrees or anything for that. So I had to do some hard labor stuff. And my size being 6'7" and 280 something pounds at the time, I'm a big guy, and everybody looked at me as like, let Curtis lift it. He can do it. So it was all hard labor.
All hard labor.
All hard labor, the total opposite of what I wanted because of my size. It's like, yeah, call Curtis.
Okay. What kind of labor was it?
I think my first couple jobs were fast food. McDonald's. I started out McDonald's, then Hardee's, and then I was like, just not cutting it as a grown man. So then I moved into a furniture company. I started delivering furniture and assembling furniture. I did that for about 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And then I got out of that part of it and got stepped into another part, still in the furniture, but this was rental. So I went from putting the furniture together to this rental company, and then I went into collections. It's like, okay, you got this down pat. Now we need you to start going out and try to make some things happen. Pick up this money or pick up the furniture.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you ever dealt with furniture as far as on the rental side, but there was some negotiating going on with these women.
Okay.
I tell you, it's some stories, man, and most of them was pretty much from things that happened prior to me starting. I've heard of all the arrangements that they had prior to me coming,
Okay.
and they felt like I was going to carry on those arrangements.
Oh, okay. I
It's like,
understand.
no, I'm not that guy.
Okay. So in other words, with the rental furniture,
Yes,
so you had some sneaky guy that would cook up a way for the person renting the furniture and for him, not the business, but for
Yes.
him to benefit.
he was a beneficiary of quite a few things, from what I understand. The guys before me, it was I could tell them you're not here. I could let you make it another week, say you wasn't at home, in exchange for whatever they had to offer.
Okay. Understood.
And one lady flat out came and she just told me what the arrangement was. And she said that she offered up oral sex in order to keep her furniture and not make the payments. And I was like totally shocked that she brought it to me. I'm like, you just met me. I'm a new guy. I'm here. And she's basically telling me this. She's like, hey, you could get this too. Just let me keep my stuff.
And you serious, man? You didn't take that off.
I did not take that offer. I did not take that offer at all.
If
Man.
you had to guess at it, how old were you at that time?
I want to say in my 20s, late, maybe 26, 27, maybe in that neighborhood. So I decided that wasn't for me. Then I decided I was going to go offshore.
Okay.
So offshore, I worked on the oil rigs. Just explain what the offshore is. We was out there looking for oil. So they had different types of rigs that you could work for. And at the time, I worked for this company called Neighbors. And I left Neighbors after about a year. I was a roustabout. This is a guy just basically almost like a handyman on the ship. Various things that's needed. The roustabouts went about doing those things.
Okay.
And I left the company that I was with, Neighbors, and I went to another company called Diamond. I left for $1.22 more an hour.
Okay.
Well, when I left for that, I wasn't sure of the company that I was going to, only the money that they paid. When I got to the other company, it was like the money was less over here, but the accommodations were like superior to the place that I went.
Okay.
So it's like I'll step back in time for $1.22 more an hour.
Okay.
I took a loss actually. So, but the pay was good. I worked 14 and 14. We were at work for 14 days, home for 14 days. First week I get home, the first week of the pay that I made was waiting on me.
Oh.
When I got ready to leave to go back out to work, the next check was coming in. So it was just like fun for 14 days at home without ever worrying about money.
Nice.
Yes. So heart was broken after about 3 years being out. After about 3 years being out there on the water, they decided to bring my rig in. And when they did, everyone that worked on that rig was, I would say, terminated. The lower, which is the roustabout, which is what I was, they were all let go. Floor hands and the other people that was upper above that were placed in lower positions. So now the floor hands became roustabouts. Roustabouts lost their job. So I went back to a familiar thing. Back to furniture.
Okay.
Did that for about 2 years. Left there and I was like, I need more money. Because now I'm not making the money that I was making. I'm going week to week on some pennies. I started getting into trucking.
Trucking.
Oh my God.
Okay. And so about how long did you do trucking?
I'd say I was in trucking for anywhere from 13 to about maybe 15 years. Just different degrees of it.
Okay. So I got two 2 questions about
Got
that.
it.
What was the best part about trucking?
Best part about trucking, by hands down, is the pay.
Is the pay. All right. So did you make more doing trucking than you did doing the oil rigs?
Let's say I had more potential, because the oil rig was pretty much set.
Uh-huh.
And trucking is pretty much paid by the load. So depending on what my performance was, I had some weeks I made more money, but I would say on the average, trucking I made more money than I did offshore.
What was the worst part about trucking?
Worst part about trucking for me was being gone for long periods of time, being away from your family. It's, as they say in the industry, a lonely man's job.
Okay.
Now, of course, a lot of the truckers got families they come home to. But I remember one particular company I was with, I was on the highway for 20-something days out of a month. That's before they would let me come home for 2 days and then right back out. So I was basically home for 2 days out of a month, then back on the highway. I felt like I was visiting instead of actually having a life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, trucker's life.
So then, because with the oil rig job, it was 14 and 14. Did you feel like a visitor then as well?
No. I felt that was I'm like, okay, 14 days of grinding, 14 days of fun.
Okay.
So, nah, I felt totally different about that.
Well, you feel comfortable telling folks what you do today?
Well, today I work for a home health agency, and I was blessed, and now I'm the assistant to the owner and head of marketing. And right now, I love it more than I did trucking, more than I did offshore. I've learned a lot more. It's getting back more toward the business management part that I wanted to do in the beginning. So now I'm in an office setting. I'm getting to be hands-on, and I'm learning a lot of stuff in the office to deal with business. So this is by far the best move that ever been made for me.
All right. And if you had to make a comparison with that pay,
With the pay, hourly, it matches up pretty close to what I made offshore.
okay.
Which I say it matches up because on the offshore, I actually got more overtime hours than I did regular hours. I got 40 hours at a certain pay, and then it was time and a half for 44 hours.
Oh, okay.
And this was 7 days out of 7 days a week,
Okay.
84 hours. Yeah.
All right.
But in comparison, and I'm not working 80 hours in a week.
Okay.
I'm working half that time. But as far as the pay, they match up doing half the hours.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, as far as wearing all these different hats in this office setting, I mean, do you think it's dead end, or do you see potential for?
No, I see potential. The experience that I gained from doing this, I mean, a lot of the skills that they ask for, as far as computer skills, Word, Excel, and all these different types of things, doing just a simple spreadsheet, I had no idea prior to me starting.
Okay.
I came in green because, like I said, I had deviated from what I originally wanted to do. So I came in totally green to this. And over the course of about a year and a half now, I've learned a lot, got a lot more to learn. But this is definitely where I want to be. Even if this didn't pan out, I would still be thinking the office setting because now I can put this on my resume that I have experience. Mm-hmm. Whereas before it's trucking, offshore, hard labor. Big guy, he can lift it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
They want the brawn and not the brains.
Exactly.
I got you. This new thing that you're doing, you get to use the brain.
Right.
All right, man. Well, look, there's a whole lot more that we could say and we could talk about, but we're gonna save it for the next time.
Sounds
All right.
good.
Are you? I did kind of say your name at the beginning, but stick with the first name only. What's your name?
Curtis.
All right, everybody. This is Curtis. Kurt, I appreciate your time. Thank you for this. All right.
All right. Look forward to next time.
All right. Cool.
What the fuck is that noise?
What noise?
This fat boy chair.